All right, so live waiting for B to hit me with the link so we can get back to the lot or whatnot. But just a recap, we were discussing the Wizards being in the ninth spot right now and tanking versus not tanking, as well as as well as the XFL and what it can potentially be and how the first week went or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. Yeah. So this is our first real time like doing a live stream. We don't have that many subscribers just yet on the YouTube. Hopefully, soon we can get some of our actual podcast subscribers over to the YouTube. But I guess they got to get used to us advertising that we can be doing live stream. That'll be a pretty big step. I think it'd be dope if we can live stream when we interview Ralphie for the battle rap joint. But we probably won't go live when we're talking about the about rap. I think we'll do live when we do a lot of that stuff. When we're just giving our opinion on like sports and stuff, depending on like the gravity of the situation, we'll probably just you know what I'm saying record it and upload it because we send our stuff in on Friday. So we give y'all new content every Friday. You know, we squeeze in some you know what I'm saying some specials, you know, uh throughout the week if need be. But our main podcast is usually going to be on that Friday. You know, hopefully early in the morning. All right, still waiting on the homie. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's we on our 18th episode. That's big. You know, it's about you know what I'm saying just being consistent and keep trying. You know, and that's one thing that we've been doing. You know what I'm saying it's it's been fun. You know, I mean, it's as long as people don't make it out to be what it's not and try to be, you know what I'm saying, just be authentic. You know, I think that's been uh the biggest goal for us to just make sure that we're authentic. We're not trying to be anybody, so we're not coming with a bunch of gimmicks and biting nobody's style. And another thing is if we are inspired by somebody else's podcast or whatnot, we give them their flowers. Like I am big on telling people about other podcasts because I feel like it's not like, you know, I'm gonna give you content 24 hours a day. So it's like all you need to listen to is me. Nah, nah. That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? Some people gonna go listen to First Take, some people gonna go listen to Undisputed, you know, and you can choose which one you want. You know what I'm saying? And but some people gonna listen to both. You know, and I'm sure there's some other outlets who give you things you want to hear. You know, even just within the networks. You know what I'm saying? You talking basketball, you might want to hear about from Chris Bouchard. You might want to hear from Jalen. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you don't have to choose. So why have to choose with your podcasting? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna definitely give big ups to anybody who I feel like I listen to them. I'm like, yo, you should listen to them because I feel like this. If you listen to me, that means that you know what I'm saying, you probably value my opinion. Maybe you do. Maybe you just listen to me like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? I don't know. Same thing with Brian, same with Real and the rest of the squad whenever they, you know what I'm saying, on the cast. But you know what I'm saying, likelihood that you are, you know what I'm saying, to the things that I'm interested in. So when I mention these podcasts at some point, maybe one of them you might be like, oh, okay, I can rock with that one, you know? Like what you'll hear on the actual podcast when he posts it tomorrow is that I picked up wine bottles and washcloths. Uh, that's one of the big homies. So Brian's about to link back into Brian. So hold on one second. B Money,
Yeah.
you goody?
What just happened? I don't even know because now it looks like you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
That's crazy. I don't know if it's recording because it's like I can't explain it. I'm gonna send. I'm gonna shoot you a new link.
It's recording though. At least it is on my end.
Yeah, but
Mhm. One second. So yeah, we was talking about XFL and wine bottles and washcloths podcast with my guy Terrence and Damo. They they did it. They had a nice little giveaway with some tickets for the DC Defenders this this past weekend. I thought that was dope. We'll be giving away merch and shit like and stuff like that. So you know what I'm saying we have our own brand. So you know what I'm saying hostile. You know what I'm saying so we'll be giving listeners brand our brand merch. So won't get no tickets. All right, B Money, you good?
yeah.
All right. So we already hit up. We want to just jump into the Allstar game.
Yeah, let's just jump into
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So before we dive before we dive into the All-Star game, we got to do preliminary, and Giannis. Most everything is you know what I'm saying G rated these days. Nobody really you know what I'm saying say nothing, giving nobody bulletin board material. So I thought it was interesting that Giannis gave James Harden some bulletin board material by saying he don't he don't pass the ball. And it's like
you sent them a little shot, man.
it's funny because it's like you got two guys who run around getting triple doubles for whole seasons, and part of that triple double is a pass because it's an assist. So when you saying a guy who had a whole season of triple doubles don't pass, I'm saying that sort of lends itself to when you have these people who are looking at the triple double, you know what I'm saying sideways, like it's smoke and mirrors in a way, right?
But yeah, because even look at it, like the people getting out of the way for rebounds of rebounds, and like look at how they count assists. Like it's weird. Like statisticians these days count assists. Like if the third pass is you get there and you score, it's an assist. So
the hockey assist.
Was that
the hockey
assist? Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, man. Like, it's really weird. Like people was taking whole dribbles and still letting it be counted as an assist, and that's crazy to me. You know what I mean? But the shot to Harden, man. I mean, everybody sees, like, everybody like has this perception that he's kind of like a heist box a little bit. So
yeah,
it's nice that the NBA players see the same thing we see sometimes.
Well, I guess Morey won't waste his time trying to recruit Giannis when his contract is up. Don't waste your time, brother.
I don't think he's going to Houston anytime soon. Or vice versa.
So, are you familiar? Did you check out the rosters, right?
I did had a glance at it. I can see if I can pull it up so we can just,
LeBron's squad, he has him, AD, Kawhi, Luka, and James. That's his starting lineup. Then he got Ben Simmons, Jokic, Jason Tatum, CP, Russ, and Sabonis. And he had Damian Lillard, but Damian Lillard got a groin injury, so Devin Booker took his spot.
Right.
Then on Giannis' squad, he has Embiid, Pascal, Kemba, Trae Young, Chris Middleton. Actually, he got my guy Bam, Kentucky. Excuse me, Rudy Gobert, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Brandon Ingram, and Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
That's his squad.
Yeah, I seen. Okay, LeBron. I like his squad. People were crushing Giannis's squad. But I don't really. I mean, it's
People,
not a bad.
LeBron's squad is going to crush Giannis's squad, bruh. It's not even going to be close. It's not. Like
No,
every
I mean, I don't know what he's thinking about because he could have. I don't know. His squad has a bunch of good players, but it's like,
do they know?
Come on, man.
Do they know?
Joel Embiid, good player. Siakam just should have won an MVP in the playoffs.
I don't think so.
You don't think he should have won the Finals MVP?
No. Kawhi Leonard won that MVP.
Nah,
he was the dog. If you take Kawhi out of that series, they lose even without Klay Thompson, without Kevin Durant.
You take Siakam off that team, they don't win either. So I don't know. I mean, okay. And like you said, they were good. Raptors are a good team without Kawhi. So what are we? You're trying to undercut your whole.
I'm not undercutting anything. What I'm saying is, you naming one player, like Siakam, he is a really good player. He is, but the MVP of that team last year is on the other side, along with LeBron James, along with Anthony Davis, along with Russell Westbrook, along with James Harden.
I don't really know what he was thinking about, like Kyle Lowry. And he also didn't have a lot of They snubbed a couple guys.
I must listen.
Booker's in, but Brad should be here. Like Brad should be in this somewhere.
Kyle Lowry should be at home or put him in a skills challenge or something. He shouldn't be an all-star.
And if you're going to use losing as a metric,
17-7.
Getting close. Like they shouldn't even be close. Trae Young is nowhere. Like that Atlanta Hawks team is one of the worst teams. It's the worst team in
the Suns aren't in the playoffs. So why would Devin Booker get the nod? The Blazers aren't in the playoffs. Why would Damian Lillard get the nod? Like there's a lot of guys who are on teams currently that aren't in the playoffs.
Right.
They're in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not impressed by this squad. Brandon Ingram, he's coming. There's a lot of like functional players on Giannis.
Wasn't Brandon Ingram on Team USA?
What's that?
Brandon Ingram, Kemba Walker, those are the leaders of Team USA.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Giannis was a dog in the FIBAs. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, you know what I noticed? When I first noticed them like trying to, hype the All-Star game and they did the whole LeBron and Giannis, all they did was LeBron and Giannis. And if you're talking about just LeBron and Giannis, then yeah, you got a closer game because I feel like Giannis has a lot of similarities in LeBron as far as just being a force in transition. Who can make you pay if you don't step up outside and he went inside. Like they had a lot of similarities, but they stuck to just LeBron and Giannis. They did not get into showing highlights of the other, the rest of the guys, because once you go, once you go AD and Kawhi, it's a wrap. How do you let one team have 4 of the top 5 players in the league? How?
Yeah, no, that was.
Giannis
really didn't think. I think he thought like he's gonna like run. This is what he wants on the Milwaukee Bucks.
Didn't
they could really assemble this team?
Didn't they pick against each other last year?
Yes.
And he picked Chris Middleton last year. Like, yo, you stop being a sucker. Just because y'all on the team together, I mean, you got to pick them. Stop being a sucker. Let them go on another. See, if you were smart, you would let them go on the other team and see how they use them. And you can learn from, okay, I see how you use them. I'm going to use that as my arsenal from now on. You know what I'm saying? Stop being a sucker and think you got to have your homies on your side. Except for John Wall and Brad Hill. They need to both be on the same side every time they play in the All-Star game. That's just me.
Oh, man, that's for you. That's selfish. That's the selfish reason. No, I'm with that's crushing Giannis for picking his team now. I'm looking at it. I mean, I like Trae Young, and I like every player that he picked. It's just like, but you got AD on the other side. Like, you got AD and LeBron on the other side.
You got Giannis and Embiid on the team.
I mean, I don't know, man.
You know what's going to be interesting though? You see that Embiid and Simmons are on different teams this year though.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's some from what I've heard is there's some locker room.
That's going to be fun.
Rumblings.
Like at some point they got to match up against each other. At some point, like we got to get the All-Star Game back to people tuning in. I think people tuned in with the KD versus Russ thing. I think if you get to put, you know what I'm saying, you get to talking about Embiid and Simmons checking each other. Mm-hmm. You might have something.
You know what I'm saying? Do you think they're gonna tune in because with these new rules that they got?
You give me some wheat bread, some American cheese, a little bit of mayo, and some salami. You got a sandwich, brother. You got a sandwich. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know what that means, man. What do you think about the new rules, though? I don't know. Talk about a sandwich. That was a Shannon Sharp quote. Where did you get that? Yeah, that was a Shannon Sharp quote if I ever heard one, man. The frog does not have pockets.
Listen,
it cannot carry a knife.
My whole point is. My whole point is the West have a full sandwich. They about to eat. They got all the ingredients. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. They got all the ingredients, bro.
I got you. I'm finishing the point. What do you think the game itself with all these changes? They go back to zero every quarter. They do some weird thing with the number 24. You ever heard about none of this?
What?
You gotta go back and okay. Let me try to pick up the rules because I cannot explain them to you honestly. So after every quarter, I can't explain this. After every quarter, the score goes back to zero. So it's 0-0 at every quarter until the fourth quarter, and then their cumulative the team that's leading score is added by 24. So and they add 24 to it, and then there's a quarter where the teams have to play to a certain number that's somehow found accumulated. Like it's summed up in total by 24 somehow.
So
man, I've heard it explained.
So my guess,
I can't understand.
My guess is that has something to do with Kobe.
Yeah, no, it has everything to do. The 24 number has everything to do with Kobe.
I think that's probably just a 1 year thing, just to honor Kobe. I think that's what that sounds like, which should be at least dope in that sense, at least. I mean, I like the fact that they all gonna be wearing him and Gigi's number. That's dope.
Yeah, no, that's fire. I mean, they could have left it at that. I don't know about these rule changes.
Who raised you?
It sounds crazy. I'm not really up for that. I can't. Let me try to find a place that explains this so I can.
I wonder who's. I mean, you know, the thing about it is, Brian, at least they're trying. That's the thing about these the NFL Pro Bowl and the NBA All-Star Game is listen, what's the worst that can happen? That's probably figuring, like, what's the worst that can happen? Viewership. You know what I'm saying, it's you know, minimal at best most times anyway. So trying out different things it can't hurt. It can only help. Right. So if they do it on the backdrop of Kobe Bryant, then they get it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like they made a successful transition from, you know what I'm saying, conferences to just drafting. I thought that was a good aspect of the All-Star Game now.
Okay.
So that was good.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let me try to forward up for everybody that's listening sake that didn't hear, because you didn't hear, and I think a bunch of people aren't really as tuned in So this is the new format. Each of the first 3 quarters will begin with a score of 0-0 and will last for the regular 12 minutes, right? So at the start of the 4th quarter, the game clock will be turned off and a final target score will be set. The final target score will be determined by taking the leading team's total cumulative score through 3 quarters and adding 24 points. That's where Kobe comes in, 24. Once the final target score is set, the teams will play an untimed 4th quarter, and the first team to reach the final target score will win the NBA Allstar Game.
They better hope that don't take too long.
Yeah, that sounds like it might take 40 minutes. I don't know.
Hey, listen, they better hope it don't take too long. They better hope that thing falls within the time restraints in which people's attention span is last. So nobody's will be watching. Nobody's going to be, tuned in to see who's winning the MVP of this game.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to see a 20-minute 4th quarter. 12 3-quarter 0-0 games. Like, I don't know.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah, it's weird. It's going to be interesting. And like you said, the NBA more prone to try to test things and do things with their All-Star game. I mean, everybody. I think all 3 major the major American sports have tried stuff with their All-Star games, and to very success. They've changed the times. They've tried to make it more competitive by attaching home field to it, like in baseball. And I don't know, man. This is left field, but Adam Silver's there's been ideas and thrown around that, like these in-game tournaments they might try to get into, and all types of stuff in left field. So all power to them. If it works, it works. I'm gonna try to be tuned in. I'm gonna have a bunch of stuff going on Sundays, so because we're kind of doing Valentine's Day on Sunday instead of tomorrow. So
yeah, I'm doing mine on Saturday.
Yeah. So
the one thing I'm glad I haven't seen them go with, I feel like they floated, was the World versus USA. I'm glad they limited that to just the rookie sophomore type game. I just don't like the divide that it provides. You know what I'm saying?
I get
like you want to unite your fans. I feel like when you do, like, you already have the Olympics and the international teams. Like, you don't need to divide your fans in season. I wouldn't support that. I wouldn't support that at all. So who you got winning? you got LeBron saying winning?
I have them winning. I have them winning. Yes. I have LeBron's team winning.
It's gonna be a fun game, though, man. It's gonna be fun. It'll be fun just to watch it. I think Dwight Howard in the slam dunk contest is very interesting.
Yep. I think Aaron Gordon's back, right?
Is he back? Because I know he was still hurt.
I'm sorry. Maybe just Zach LaVine is back. I think people were trying to get Aaron Gordon to come back, but I didn't know he was hurt. Yeah. I think Zach LaVine is back too.
Yeah?
Yeah. Zach LaVine is definitely back. I think people were trying to attach Aaron Gordon to him because that was the last, slam dunk contest that kind of was, got the buzz.
I wouldn't mind saying, I don't mind saying the great ones do it, regardless of how many times they do it. Mike did it more than once. You know what I'm saying? Dominique did it what, 3 times, didn't he?
He did it 3 times.
Yeah, Dominique did it 3 times. I don't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? So
Sean Kemp did it twice, and yeah, definitely as many times as you want. I'm looking forward to the 3-point contest. Dallas is in it, so I'm looking forward to seeing them, light them up. I want him to win. I'm with that. We need that.
Devin Booker's gonna be in it too. Since he's tapping in for Dame Lillard, he's also gonna be in the 3-point contest too.
Oh, okay.
So, you know what I'm about to say next, so I don't even need to say it. I'm torn. You know what I'm saying? I got my Wizards and Bertans, but I got my Wildcat, baby.
Yeah, son. You don't get out of here with that Kentucky Wildcat mess, man. Davis needs to win that for the home team.
Shade.
Like, I don't. They should have had Brad in that joint like 2 years ago. Like, I'm upset. They don't. And for the record, I was talking about this on Twitter with someone bringing it up. They haven't been back since like '98, the Allstar Game. Like, what in the world? We had a brand new stadium for 10, 15 years. Now it's old. Like, why would we only get the Allstar Game once? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Money, probably.
We're the Washington D.C. is way more equipped to handle an All-Star game. The weather is not as terrible as Chicago's getting it. I think Chicago's getting it twice in the last like 12 years.
Yeah, it's
like,
Chicago.
That's ridiculous. In the middle of winter, come on, bro. Like, that don't make any sense. Why hasn't Washington D.C. gotten an All-Star game? There's All-Star game that has been through National Stadium twice, I think, since 2005. Like, that's like the NBA avoiding the
more reason for Ernie Grunfeld to have gotten fired. That's on him.
Somebody needs to have been campaigning for that, and I don't know if that what that. I don't know how that slips through the cracks. That should have been.
You know what they're gonna say? They want the All-Star game in a city where the team is winning, and then it's gonna be in Chicago.
David Stern said, told Abe Poland he wouldn't bring an All-Star game to him until he started winning. But and then they gave it to him when we got Gilbert when that squad was really doing anything. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of upset about that. We already get a raw deal with the schedule because they bring these doggone horses to the to 7th Street every in Capital One every October or whenever it is, that first week of games.
Yeah.
And they always start on the road. So I'm like, give us something. Like, they don't do us no favors. And an All-Star game would be cool. I'd like to go. I've been in Philadelphia when it had it. We got to see the rookies versus the sophomores, but we didn't get to the game. But now I got bread, a little bit, tiny bit.
When it cold money.
No, it's not when it cold. But it's enough
to
buy a couple.
My man, he got that debt-free money.
Not yet, but we closing in.
Nobody owns me though. My man.
Hey, man.
Hey, I'm always owe somebody. So my motto, that's like they said it back in the day. As long as I owe you, you will never go broke.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Keep waiting on it, though. Just keep waiting on it. It's coming. Check us in the mail. Check us in the mail.
Some bill collector was calling my pops when we was kids. And my man said, you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. Like, yeah.
That's the wrong person. Yeah. You can tell to a bill collector, they're just calling you. There's some people who gonna collect some money from you who they'll try. They might not try to squeeze it out the turnip, but they'll squeeze it out of something.
Hey, look, man, they still owe us reparations if I can get away with finessing some money out of one of these big institutions. I'm gonna do it. Anyways,
until they come for it.
What's that?
Until they come for it.
Hey, look, man, they can come through. See what they
get a new job, new bank accounts.
Beard bigger than it is. Sherman Hemsley with the release front. You know what I mean? We are here changing our identity. I'm out. Nah, but they ain't catching me. What's up? Oh. What else? What are we on the docket, man? What are you pulling up for?
I think the only thing excuse me.
Oh no, I know what we can talk about.
What's that?
I haven't seen it yet, but give us your bird of paradise.
Hey, I was just about to say that. Well, actually, I was going to say another movie first. Then I was going to say that. But man, I saw Birds of Prey, and I now feel comfortable going to see DC movies now, DC comic movies now.
Okay.
I knew from the previews and from the energy of the character that I was going to like the movie anyway. But I just thought they did a good job of the movie. You know what I'm saying? It was a good movie. It was a good go to the movies type of. Sometimes movies are, they're good movies, but you don't necessarily want to go to the theater to it because you got to think too much. You got to pay too much attention. It's not a lot of excitement or stuff like I feel like this movie gives you just enough excitement and it's, it's above board enough where it's like you can take anybody to go see it. You can take the kids to go see it. You can take your girlfriend to go see it. She can see, women kicking ass and stuff like that. And and then it's Harley Quinn. She's always been one of my favorite characters on Batman because of her spirit. Like even as a bad guy, she's had the best spirit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like
I'm not a big fan of Margot Robbie because I feel like they force feed her onto us. But she does a good Harley Quinn. I did want to see the movie in the theater, so I'm going to check it out.
Let's dive into that thought process because I thought that was like perfect. Like I love when it's perfect casting. I thought that she was perfectly casted as Harley Quinn.
No, she's a good Harley Quinn. I'm not saying that she's not. I'm just saying like she's been in like 50,000 movies. Wolf of Wall Street, which is a good movie. That movie with Will Smith. And they tried to make her like she's not supposed to be the focal point of Suicide Squad, but that's what it ended up being. And I'm not with that. They could have done 100,000 things with that, and it just didn't work. I mean, she did her with the character itself. Yeah, she's Harley Quinn, but like,
so that's not a product of her bad. Like Suicide Squad's had some failures. Harley Quinn wasn't one of them.
No, absolutely not. I'm not saying her as the actor.
The drawn out storyline was the biggest problem of Suicide Squad.
I just think they kind of like they shoehorn her in the movies, it's not this movie. I'm just saying her in general. It's just like what's my man that was in the Terminator Salvation, Warrington, whatever his dude's name was. Like they force fed him in the movies, and it was like nobody really cared for him, and they kept trying to put him.
I'm a fan.
You're a weirdo. Like, you like Hayden Christensen, bro. Like nobody likes Hayden Christensen, but you. Like you're the only person that likes him. Like so, it's the same deal, bro.
Sam Worthington is solid. I thought he did good in Terminator. I mean, he's not. You saying they force him, but I don't think he's in a lot of movies.
No, not anymore. I'm talking about there was a run. There's like they usually do like a 2-year run, and you got that Batman had the Hercules. I don't know what it was, Icarus, whatever it was. What? He had 2 of those movies.
Both Stop. If you're going to do it right. Ain't no damn Icarus. It's Clash of the Titans, man.
Clash of the Titans. The second was trash. The second was big trash.
The second was the money grab. The second one was the money grab. But the first one was good. Release the Kraken.
He was not particularly good. Neither was Christian Bale, and Christian Bale is actually a good actor. But it wasn't a great movie.
I thought his personality fit a robot.
Yeah, he is a robot. That's what I'm saying. Like he's like,
but you know what? Okay, so here's the thing. This is why I said I like Sam Worthington because I felt like he did a good job in the movie Man on the Ledge. Have you seen that movie?
No.
That one was a good movie. It came out like right around the time I guess doing you saying they're forcing him in the movies, but he was on Man on the Ledge, and that was like his last movie that he did for a good little while. So before the Clash of the Titans came back out with the part 2. But I didn't think that movie was that. I mean, it wasn't as good as the first one, but I don't think it was as bad as you make me be. Like Percy Jackson's part 2 was bad. The first one was good. The second one was like, okay, what are we doing?
Another bad movie they tried to kept going with sequels. I don't even know how. It was the Allegiant joints. Why those joints was terrible.
Come on, you know what that's about. It's because Twilight, and you got Twilight, and you have Harry Potter. So you have these books, these teen novels, and they making money. So of course I'm gonna put. And then she's a star. Like girls her age and younger, they're going to see anything she do. Like she was getting awards left and right. Of course you're going to make sequels of the movies.
But by the time they tried to get the last double sequel, like the ending sequel off, they was going straight to DVD with them jumps.
Nah, man. All three of them joints all three of them was in the theaters.
The last one didn't stay. It was in theaters for 2 days.
Come on, bro. You savage right now, bro. Come on. Listen, Allegiant. Okay, hold on. So if you had to choose between the Allegiant franchise and the Hunger Games franchise, which one you taking?
Hunger Games 100 out of 100.
You tripping? Allegiant didn't tape like Hunger Games tapered off dramatically from the first one to the last one. Boom.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Whereas the Allegiant franchise, it from the beginning it didn't peak like Hunger Games did, but it was more leveled. So I would rather watch that one than I watch Hunger Games. By the time I get to the last one, I'm like, this joint got real whack.
No, the first two were okay. When the third one, when they went off on a cliffhanger, and I didn't even watch. I know what happened, but I didn't.
So when we talk, but you didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. There's 5 of the Allegiance. I only watched
it's
the
only
first one.
3, bro. You talking about?
I'm sorry. I watched 2.5 of those.
My man said it's 5 of them.
There's 5.
It's
5
3.
Allegiance. There's 5 Allegiance.
It's 3.
No, it's at least 4.
It's 3.
Man, it's 4.
I'm about to fact check you real quick. Family is 3. Hold on.
Not 3 because they like that. They were trilogy, but
let me get to the Chromebook. Hold up, G.
I'm telling you. I am telling you. Like they split that joint up into 2 parts, and that shit is trash, bro. It's crazy how trash they try to get that off on us. It's crazy.
My man said it was 7 of them. Oh, and we called it Allegiant. It's the Divergent series. Excuse me, Divergent series.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, there's some now 20-year-old girl who's kirking right now. Oh my fucking God, they're calling it wrong. It's Divergent, not Allegiant. These airheads don't know what they're friggin' talking about.
Yeah.
All right. So, mean,
sorry. So there's a sequel called Insurgent, and then a 2-part Legion. So yeah, there's a Legion Part 1 and a Legion Part 2. Yeah. So there's 4, and I saw 1.5 or 1 3/4 of the jumps, and I just think it was just bad.
Bro, where are you getting these for?
Fam, I'm looking at it right now. There's Divergent. There's the first one, right?
Right. It's 3.
It's 4.
There's only 3. Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiant. Those are the 3.
Allegiant. The film was okay. No, my bad. They proposed sequel was retitled Ascendant. So they didn't even come out.
Nah, they didn't drop it.
Yeah, okay. So the 4th one didn't even come out.
The Hunger Games had about 5.
It had 2, and then it split the 3rd one into 2. So it's 4. They had 4. They could have stopped it too. They probably should have stopped it too. But I mean, there was 3 books, so they weren't going to do that. They made a lot of money off this, but they didn't even make a lot of money off these Divergent. They didn't make a lot of money, bro.
Man, listen, they already cut the check for Shailene, so they had to make them, bro. You had to try to make some money back off Shailene because the youngest was eating her up. She was winning choice awards and I think she won a Source Award for best hip hop album of the year. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I think so.
She beat out Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, man, she beat out Jay-Z. What you talk about? For best for best lyricist of the year,
Oh my
2015.
God.
Shailene Woodley.
Did she?
Yeah, man. You know
Oh my God.
they
Did you
gave
fall
her
in love?
they cooked up a new category to give her an award. You know how they do.
Wow. I was that first movie was like, man, how they make a second one? I'm yeah, nah. I can talk about that. I talk about bad movies all day. But okay, Birds of Prey, man. I definitely wanted to check it out, so I'm gonna. You know.
I really like what they did with the movie. I like the energy. I like it's colorful. So it's just fun for the eyes. It's like it's good to watch. You know what I'm saying? They brought my girl shoot, what's her name? Slipping my mind right now. From
You got Gerard you
what
got Rosie Perez.
Rosie Perez. I was like, oh, look at Rosie. Hey Rosie. I ain't seen I feel like I ain't seen Rosie in a movie since, you know what I'm saying, White Man Can't Jump, boy.
Oh my gosh.
Matter of fact, I think her weave was probably the worst part of the movie.
Wow.
Just being 100. Wow. I'm just being honest. Nah, but so reason why I said this is going to be my second movie to talk about, but since it's been my first, second movie is what actually comes out today. But I'm about to go watch it as soon as we finish with the podcast, so I'll be ready to talk about it the next time. Is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay. Cool.
So
yeah, I was interested once they changed his look.
I didn't, you know what? The thing about it is, I didn't really care about his look in the first place. I didn't really care about his look until they changed it. I was like, damn, that made a hell of like. I feel like they could have gotten away with having him look the way he looked originally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
But once they changed it, I was like, okay. I mean,
I'm glad they changed it.
Right, but
I didn't understand why so many people were so upset about it, but I'm glad they changed it.
Like the money they put in behind it, they better market the hell out of this movie, and that
it's still like that's why I don't think they should have changed it, because
they're not gonna make that money back. They're not gonna recoup that money. It's no way, especially when they're coming in right after Birds of Prey, which is the #1 movie in America.
And they saying that didn't really do that as well as they wanted it to.
This all part of the year when it comes to movies. Like the blockbuster time, blockbusters ain't really the time. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the time where you want people going to see like romantic. Like this is the time where you dropping romantic comedies and stuff like that, like rom-coms and romance joints, because it's you know what I'm saying, second week of February. You know what I'm saying? Either you're gonna do that or you're gonna do a suspense thriller. You don't really necessarily go and see Sonic the Hedgehog.
Right.
But I will say this: I started watching it, and
my bad.
You the gamer, so you gotta help me out on this part, right? You know, I'm sports. That's what I'm gonna play. But as far as the adventure games and all that one player stuff, I'm not really into. I like playing with my guys. No homo. But I like when they take like standard movie intros and like they add something that has to do with the movie. So when I was watching the intro of the Sonic Hedgehog, and you know how it's normally the Paramount where the stars start rolling in from the screen and they wrap around,
right?
They got the rings, and I was like, that is dope. That is dope. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little video of I'm gonna do like, I want to do. I ain't trying to get no pirate, and I don't want to think I'm trying to pirate nothing. I don't try to get in no trouble, but I maybe like do a still shot of the rings floating into the shot. I thought it was real dope. It's real dope, and I feel like it's gonna be fun. I feel like they got you got a fun person to voice Sonic. Jim Carrey's in it. That's all. Listen, Jim Carrey in it, and he get to be like a character actor. You know it's gonna be hard for this movie to be bad.
Right.
Jim Carrey don't do bad movies.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's gonna hopefully, he's got a good, say in his character, and hopefully, it comes across. I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely going to see it. I'm not sure when I'm going to see it. I'm not going to see it in the theaters, so we'll see how I get a hold of it. But yeah, man, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at Sonic. And hopefully this isn't bad. It's not, and it's probably going to be solid for kids, man.
I tell you what,
Teddy liked it.
Unfortunately, because like I said, because of the reshoot, the make Sonic look better, the budget has put a bar for them to set. Like they set the bar higher than I think they can really get because of that. Hopefully they will.
Right.
But I feel like I compare the bar at Pokemon or the Pikachu movie.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we like I guess at some point we briefly watched Pokemon, or some people stuck with it. Some people got fanatic about it and started collecting things and all that stuff. I watched it briefly when it was a cartoon. But Sonic is a different conversation. That's an 80s baby, you know what I'm saying? That's one of our staples. That's like Mario Brothers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, imagine if they never made a Mario Brothers movie back in the day, that horrible movie. Imagine they never made that, and then it would come out with a Mario Brothers movie. Like we'd be like, what? They made a Mario Brothers movie? But I feel like Sonic. I feel like if Sonic is a success, expect a Crash Bandicoot coming.
Oh yeah, definitely. Or who else? Earthworm Jim, something like that.
So all right. So since we on the subject of video games coming, if you got to take one video game, make it a movie, and you got to cast the stars, what video game would it be? I give you two. You can do two if you got two. If it's too hard to do one, give me two if you got two.
I don't have two. I know I'd love to see a Halo movie.
Okay.
It doesn't. I put maybe a Carl Urban in there. That'd be cool. Who would be the little the AI? Let me think.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I figured they would have to switch it around a little bit to where because they would have to utilize the little aliens that run around making all that noise.
Yeah.
They'd have to give him a bigger role and be like somebody who's funny.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe a Seth Rogen voice as a voice
you
actor, something like that.
You give him a deep voice? That's funny.
Yeah, something like that. Or go back in the day, let me think. I don't know, man. What video game? Only video games are. Oh no. But they made one though. They made a what's my game? They made it with my man that plays Magneto.
Which Magneto?
The young one.
Okay.
What is his name?
Oh, you talking about Assassin's Creed?
Assassin's Creed.
That movie sucked.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say it was good.
I'm gonna tell you what that movie was like. That movie was like, and you know what? Now I think about if they did a Halo movie, I would be hesitant to watch a Halo movie because I feel like any one of these video games that be doing mini movies in the game, I feel like all they do is make a big screen production of that version. Nobody want to. I didn't play Assassin's Creed, and I damn sure didn't want to watch the storyline. I'm trying to skip to the game.
Right.
Same thing with Halo, but I and you talking about Michael Fassbender? That's who.
Michael Fassbender. Yeah.
So if I had a video game and I made it a movie,
right?
Clearly I asked you because I had a game.
Yeah, of course.
And I would have this game come out at a time where they're in their prime for a movie. So they were big action stars at the time. And I feel like this should have happened. It would have been Contra.
That'd have been cool.
It'd have been Contra.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in that joke.
With Sly and Schwarzenegger.
That makes all the sense.
Because when I was playing that game, I felt like that's who we were playing with. Yeah. To be honest with you, I felt like that's who we were playing with. You know what I'm saying? That would have been so. But if I made the movie now, who would I use? it's tough now because I feel like all the good actors who can be like great like action stars are all in the MCU now.
Right. No, that's
uh,
100%.
so I mean, you'd have to hopefully they not like cross the IP and they can still play in these movies. But I think it would
I
be
got.
who
Was that? Who you got?
who would you put in there?
Um, as far as now, I mean, it would
Yeah,
be Chris Evans. Chris Evans way one, and maybe I go young. I go to Liam Hemsworth. I
he
wouldn't go
too
to Chris.
nice. Chris Evans is like too much of a nice guy, man. Like he was always the good guy, and like I need somebody that's gritty. Like he don't say he even when he grew a beard as Captain America, he just didn't seem gritty. He's like the nice guy with a beard. You know what I mean?
How many gritty stars you got? Like, oh, you know what? You know what? My bad. I know who I go with. I go with my man that was in Banshee. My man that's playing
Yeah.
Homelander and the boys.
Yeah, I like that. I like him.
Anthony Starr.
Anthony
Starr.
Anthony Starr. Yeah, that's my guy. Shout man, they Banshee. They should have got rid of it.
Nah,
We're not gonna get.
I love that. I love this show, bro.
I'm not gonna get into cancel shows because you know who.
But did they cancel it or they just ended the run? Because
they ended it. They ended it. It wasn't even a cancel show. They ended it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that 5 season was just that was it. But yeah, man, I
4.
love that show. But yeah, and I think he's a great actor. I thought he was. If they're gonna recast Wolverine, I'm sure they are. But
he's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good. No homo. That pause, granddad. It's that it took me 2 episodes to realize it was him. Yes, because I was so used to seeing him as in Banshee that all I kept thinking about was Zach Morris. He looked like Zach Morris. He like a worse version of Zach Morris as a superhero.
He's the worst reality Zach Morris.
Right?
That's exactly what he is. Yo, but that was great. Like I didn't recognize him either. I was like, oh, this is crazy. Who is this guy?
All right, so if I did a Contra, if I did Contra, let's see. One of them would be I would use Gerard Butler as one of them.
Okay, that's a good pull. Okay.
As a matter of fact, I got a good combination that I would like to see. I think they would have great banter. Like I feel like though they gotta have great banter, and they gotta have like they gotta have like bad boys type chemistry, but without one of them being like old and washed up and trying to be a family man. You know what I'm saying? It had to be we both in it to win it. Right. So I would use like Gerard Butler for one, and the other one. Let me see who the other one would be. Damn. Like they got to be competitive. I want them to be like competitive on the bodies they drop. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like
now that you're saying Gerard Butler, you pair him up with his old co-star Joaquin Phoenix from Gladiator.
Nah, man. He not no bruh. Come on, man.
That, he has range. He has range.
I don't want to see this dude as no military badass, bruh.
Yeah, he can do it. I bet you $100,000 he could do that. He would be great in that. He would be great.
Well, you can cast him in your version. I ain't casting that motherfucking. I ain't casting him in my version. I got Gerard Butler as one, and the other one. Damn, who I got as another? I'm gonna think out the box on it and hit you with something different.
Okay, so good banter, old school grizzle. I'm not picturing that. I'm not pitching the second one. Like Gerard Butler was a good pull.
That's a good one, right?
That was a good one. Yeah, that was good.
Because all I could think about was him in Gamer. I feel like, damn, he did his thing in Gamer. So because I'm inclusive, so it would come and knock it how you want to knock it, but it would come down to like me deciding between like, you know what? Who I would draft? I would sign. I would do 50.
50. That's good. I like that.
I like, you know what? Because I like 50 and I like 50 and Den of Thieves.
50 does. I mean, he hasn't had like a lot of good roles, but I think he comes off good on screen. So I like that. I
feel like he has the. I feel like he has the build. I'm saying he has enough cachet for being a badass in people's eyes. You know what I'm saying? The acting part, I mean, I think he's solid as an actor. So I would think like maybe like Gerard and 50.
No, it doesn't work.
But haven't they been in a movie together before though?
I think so.
They've been in a movie together before.
I can't recall what the movie is called. He's got 50's had like 1,000 straight to DVD movies.
Damn, disrespect 50's catalog like that.
It's not disrespectful. He's the one that sent them straight to DVD. So I mean, it is what it is. This is. It is what it is. Like, yeah. He was good. Actually,
you know what? Gerard Butler was in Den of Thieves too. Then that's what it was. Okay. I'm tripping. Okay. They were both in Den of Thieves.
Okay.
I'm like, they in a movie together.
50 was in this movie that it was about it's like a game where it's like a Russian roulette game. And that was dope. I liked 50, and I liked the movie. I liked 50 in that genre too. So yeah, man, 50 does good stuff when he has good stuff. Like the first 2 seasons of Power, he was good.
You know, the funny thing is, if the powers that be here is talking about making a Contra movie, and they got to have one like big guy, they gonna fuck around and get that. They gonna give it to The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock.
The Rock gonna be in it.
Rock and Vin Diesel.
Nah, it's gonna be Rock and Kevin Hart.
No, bruh. No, not Kevin Hart. The Kevin Hart and Cat Williams be the shortest contract. That'd be awesome.
Nah, but I would love to see Contra be a movie.
No, you got my brain working, and now my mind would be, I don't have a star, but mine would be Altered Beast. I would love to see an Altered Beast movie.
Okay.
That would be dope. It would fit right into what's happening now with superheroes and stuff like that, and it'd be dope. I think have Altered Beast. Plus, it's back in people's memories far enough that people, you know what I mean, you can make up whatever you want and make it work. So I'm with that. It was one of the first games Sega had with the Genesis, and I'm yeah, man. I would do that. I would get that done. I'm not sure who I put in as a star though. I can't remember that good.
I feel like I need to take 50 Cent out of that movie since they got a movie together already.
Oh man,
Tyrese, you get the role. 50 Tyrese. You out. Tyrese, you win. Come on, baby boy.
What about the other Transformers guy, Josh Duhamel?
I like him.
I don't know how you say his name, but yeah. I think that might work. That might work. Yeah, I think action movies there's no Kurt Russell. There's no Patrick Swayze out there that really do.
There is a Kurt Russell out there. It's Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. I mean, yeah,
it's Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, but there's no young guy that does the same type of thing.
If you put a script in front of Sylvester Stallone and say, yeah, we need a Sylvester Stallone type, he would be like, hey yo, I'm right here. I'm right here. I can do the role. I can do it.
And 80-year-old Sylvester.
And then he'll wait till you can't produce the movie anymore, and it gets sold back. The rights get sold. He gonna buy it and produce it himself. Starring Sylvester Stallone.
All right, man. We pulling up to the location, man. What you got, man? Well, one thing I do have. Let's talk about our New Year's resolution.
I'm at 210.
We okay. So that's down 11.
I'm at 210. I'm hovering at 210.
Okay.
I had a food tasting at the job the other day, so I had some carbs I shouldn't have had, but you know what I'm saying. Hey, listen, I'm surviving Girl Scout cookie week, so there's Girl Scout cookies sitting in my kitchen right now, and I'm just leaning back. And they Samoas. I could have smoked that whole thing if I wanted to.
Oh my God!
These
So,
power things.
man, like my New Year's resolution was to attack life, and the resolution on the podcast, and I think being halfway or 75% to debt free is for that 2020 is, man. It's like a breath of fresh air, bro. So yeah, man, we're moving, and that will allow me to help the podcast and help other things as we move forward. And there's a couple other big things we're trying to do. So yeah, man. I just wanted to look back on that episode, because that was like what touched us off with the streak that we're on.
Yeah.
Salute and some, big cousin and everything. But what else I got we pulling up. Any podcasts that you want to shout out other than the ones you that came up?
You know what? You know who had a podcast that I thought was interesting? Queen's Flip got a podcast.
Who?
Queen's Flip.
Oh, Queen's Flip. Okay.
And he had I was watching his one episode, and he had Ty Murder, aka Cadillac Ty, on it.
I heard about that one.
Yeah, I was watching that one. That was so now Queen's Flip's podcast is on my radar. I'm gonna check a couple of heads out to see what they, what they do. I think I sort of, it sucks that certain like people have like access to certain people because of where their proximity is. NBA players, like All the Smoke, they have access to NBA players and stuff like that. And I feel like being as though you clearly from Queens and you know some people, you get to interview some rappers, and I think that's dope. So, so I think it automatically elevates your portfolio just based on who you know, regardless of your skill level at interviewing people and just having a conversation.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like Matt Hoffa's joint had Joe Budden on. He's gonna leverage his Rolodex.
Yeah.
Everybody should.
And vice versa.
Like Averb is gonna start one. But the one I listen to I don't just listen to these conversational podcasts. I listen to a lot of informational ones, and the one I'm gonna shout out is called Code Switch. You can hear it. And they did this episode about a teacher strike and how it affected these Black communities in Brooklyn in the ~60s. And it just really makes you reflect on how much we've come through as Black people, and how much they hate us. And they've built these. They don't even have to hate us no more.
I'm trying to take back our 40 acres.
Right. They don't even have to hate us no more. The systems that they built when they did are still set up, and they still work against us. So it's just interesting to hear some of the things that you can still see happening then and still now, and we still survive. We still beat them.
Still standing. I'm still strong.
Shout out to Code Switch. That's a dope podcast. If you're not just trying to listen to people talk about things that other people talk about all the time.
All the time. All the time.
But all right, man. It's been a good episode. I feel episode 18.
18.
Man, we still got some things on deck. Hopefully, we can get up
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning. That's the Peyton Manning episode. Absolutely. We hopefully we can get into this battle rap genre. We can find a time to really sit down and put that together.
Absolutely. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up on you fellas. So, my last word is, before we wrap this up, Kanye West is a top 10 rapper of all time. Hey, you want to ride up?